What's going on, everyone? Yeah, so I've been getting a lot of requests for Neumorphism style. I always don't know how to say it. I'm a huge fan. I mean, you'll hear it in the intro video. I'm a huge fan of this. I think this looks beautiful. Shout out to Evgeniy Kritskiy. Sorry, and Fireart Studio. Sorry, I'm just terrible. Announcing stuff. But yeah, guys. I mean, this is. I think this looks beautiful. We dive into this stuff. Obviously, I try to keep it as short as I could for you guys, but I'm a huge fan. I'm thinking about adding some animations to this tutorial. If I get some in the comments, if I get you guys saying that you want to see some animations, I'll definitely do it in my next video. But yeah, I try to organize my code more in this video, and I tried to just make it better overall. I'm still learning how to make it more responsive for you guys. I'm learning Geometry Reader as we speak, but I am making some progress. I appreciate all the patience you guys have had with me. I am still learning how to code, but you're gonna see the replicated design that we do on this is very close. So excited for you guys to dive in, and let's stop talking. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, I'm back again with another video. So I've been getting a lot of requests for Neumorphism. I think I said that right. But you know, I'm very skeptical of going into this because there's a lot of designers and people out there that just hate this concept and that just don't like it. But I really like it. I enjoy it. I think it looks beautiful. I wish it was an actual trend. I wish people gave it a chance. But we're just gonna. So I found this design on Dribbble. We're gonna. It's fairly simple. We're gonna replicate. This Neumorphism, however you say it, design. And bear with me. I'm still working. Borders are still not as easy as I thought they would be when using SwiftUI. So this, I might have to reference some code here. Definitely going to be referencing some code I've already created for this stuff. But like I said, yeah, we're definitely going to create, this very similar design in SwiftUI. So really excited to dive in here. And I'm going to copy a lot of the code I created here just to keep it short and sweet, but I will go and break it down so you guys, understand. And I'm trying to make my code more organized as well. I know I'm getting a lot of heat for that. So yeah, just bear with me. I am learning. I appreciate you guys subscribing and being part of the community. But again, I am still learning and I will continue to learn. So first and foremost, gotta add an asset. And you know what we're gonna add? We're gonna add my favorite asset, which is me. I'm just kidding. So we're gonna go over to my team pictures here and let's drop you right in there. All right, so we're gonna go back to content view, and what we're gonna create first is, oh whoops, that's my stocks, is this guy right here. So we're gonna create this header up here with that and this border. Okay, so first and foremost, let's go ahead and let's embed this. Let's make this an HStack, and let's go image. Let's name this AJ. Let's make it resizable. Okay, let's add a frame to it with a width of 50 and a height of 50. Let's click resume here and see if this works. Good old build succeeded, so perfect. And then we're gonna do a ZStack now, and this is gonna be of let's do rounded rectangle, and let's do 20, but let's add a frame to this, width of 50, height of 50. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you guys adding, let me bring this here, adding borders to rounded rectangle, adding SwiftUI. So how to draw a border, rounded corners. So you have to do one of these, right? So I'm actually just going to copy this and just want to see something. Okay, so we have the stroke. This is probably going to be more like 1, and it's going to be gray. And if we do a frame of width 50, height 50, we should have pretty much, yeah, there you go. So we have the rounded rectangle, which is, so we get rid of this, which is this right here. And then what we're going to do, we need to add an image in there. Since it's a ZStack, we can do that. So let's do, I always do that, system name, let's add a string, let's bring up SF symbols, and I believe this is an arrow. Oh no, it's a pencil. So let's get a pencil in here, and just name pencil, perfect. Okay, and pencil. All right, and let's do a size. Let's do a font dot size, and let's do headline. Is that, oh, no, that doesn't work. Okay. Sure. Let's do 20. 30? Yeah. And let's do like 15 for this. All right, perfect. Come in here, add a spacer, space these guys out. Let's add a padding to the ZStack. Not a slash, padding, trailing, and it's 30, and then the image. Actually, I'm dumb. What we can do is we can just do this. Let's fix this, and then let's go to the HStack, and instead let's add a padding of dot horizontal. Let's make it 30. Bring these guys in. Perfect. So we got this. Now we got to add this title. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna embed this guy into a VStack, and I'm just gonna fold this, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna extract subview. Okay, extract subview is gonna be header. Come down here, mark, it's header. This allows me to have a little shortcut here, and then I'm just gonna add real quick this another VStack, and I will be breaking my code out from now on into new files, but I figured with this, we could skate by with this for now. Preferences. Okay. And let's align this to SwiftUI inspector. And what we can do is actually embed this into another HStack. And let's go ahead and let's do some styling. So this is looking like let's go 30 bold. And what's this dot? Let's see what default looks like. Dot serif. We're gonna go with default and make this 35. Let's bring this, same thing. Perfect. Your preferences, perfect. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna add a spacer, and we're gonna do to the HStack dot leading, and let's make this 30. All right, and then we're just gonna extract subview and call this title. All right, and come down here, mark title. All right, and then now what we're gonna do is let's get the spacing right. Let's do a padding of dot top. Let's do vertical, and let's keep it 30. Let's resume. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create these guys, right? So now for the hard part. So I have my test file, but we're gonna create a new file, and we're gonna call this light switch. Okay. And we're gonna have this here like this, and I'm gonna go head on over to my test file here, and I've already, let me close this, already somewhat created this, but I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to grab this stuff. Head on over to light switch. And what we're going to do, we're just going to embed this like this. Okay, so now I'm just going to explain what we have here, right? So we have an H stack, okay? We have an H stack. This H stack has a V stack. This V stack is right here. It's holding the light connected text, right? Nothing new. Then what we have is another V stack, since this is an H stack, right next to this V stack here. And in this V stack, we have another V stack with a rounded rectangle in that V stack. So this rounded rectangle is right here. It has a corner radius. It has a frame of 60 and 38. Foreground color is this gray. But then here's where the Neumorphism comes into play. I have two shadows. One opacity, which gives us this dark shadow right here, and then with black, radius 10, x10, y10. And then I have a shadow of white, which is a radius of 3, so it's less of a blur, and -5, -y, which is why you kind of see that little highlight right there, right? Then this frame, this V stack that this rectangle is being held in, is this white. Is the white, and that has a frame here, background color, corner radius, padding, and then a spacer that allows this text to be right here. And then last but not least, the parent V stack of these two things right here, right, has a frame height of 120, a background color of blue, and a corner radius of 20. Okay, and last but not least, if we were to fold this stuff, we then have the H stack right here, which explains the width and the height, the background color, and the corner radius. Again, nothing new to you guys. Nothing new at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some styling to the light. It's going to be foreground color dot white. And I would probably say this is more of like a 22. And this connected is going to copy this, put it in here. This is probably more of like a 17. And definitely more of a dot gray. And actually, it's not. Let's do a color lit, right? Let's grab this color, come in here. Let's just bring it over. Let's give it a little dim. Perfect. And last but not least, let's do a padding of top 10. Not sure if you guys saw that, but that's the color right there. And it should be maybe 5. So, all right, so we got that. Now we have to bump this over. So we're going to come in here, add a spacer. And we're going to do a padding of dot leading of 20. And come down here and do padding of dot trailing is 20. Maybe 10. Okay, perfect. And same thing, we're gonna actually grab this, right? And we're gonna come down to the OK here and add that. Okay. All right, so looking pretty good so far. Now we're gonna add this plus dotted rectangle thing, and what I'm gonna do is, let's see here, I'm gonna fold this. Let's fold, and I'll embed this into, I'm actually gonna embed this into an H stack, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extract subview, and I'm gonna call this light button, and let's just mark this, mark light button. All right, and then what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna add a Z stack, and this is gonna have a rounded rectangle, and I'm gonna actually go back to our content view, and I'm gonna grab this rounded rectangle here, right? I'm gonna come back in here, and I'm actually just gonna copy and paste it, right? But we need to dot it, right? We can't have it a stroke, right? So I actually have the circle part. We will explain this in a second. And let me just find out where that is. Oh, here it is. So this dash, so this circle, I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to go back to light switch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this stroke border to this rounded rectangle. Okay, and we're going to resume. Should work. Build succeeded. Should pop up right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to maybe do 150 by 150. Yeah, it's about right. And this, yeah, and then last but not least, we're going to definitely want to do a foreground color of gray. So now we have that, right? I don't think it's that many circles, so maybe we can do 3. No, it's more. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this looks a little too big, so 20 by 120. No, it's definitely this. It's definitely the same height as the light button. So the light button is how tall? 135. So maybe we'll do 135 by 135. All right, that seems about right. And then last but not least, guys, I mean, it's very simple. We just have to add an image, and let's do system name, and let's do plus. Plus? Yeah. And that plus is going to be a font dot size. And let's make this 35. Let's make this pretty big. And then foreground dot gray. All right, so, you know, I do think this can be a little smaller, 30, and, you know, maybe we just compress it a little here. Maybe we just 25. No, this is 135. Yeah, 230. Yeah, maybe we do that. And then this light, we're going to do padding of trailing. This is light. Yeah, this HStack. Okay, so then what I'm trying to do, okay, yeah, so perfect. So this is an HStack. We got our plus, so what we can do is add a spacer here. And let's add a padding of dot leading and make this 20. Actually, I'm not even going to cancel this out, and I'll just do padding dot horizontal of 20. Try 15. That's better. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in here, extract this sub view, and we're going to call this plus button. Okay, come down here, scroll, let's mark this plus button. All right, you're going to come in here to content view, and let's click resume. We have our title here, and what we're going to do is just do light switch. And boom, it's right there. Sweet. I'm actually going to come down here, and I'm just going to do 20. And then same with your preferences. Your preferences 20. All right. And then what we're going to do, so we have all 3 of these things here. Now we got to add this air conditioning. Okay, which we've done. So I'm actually gonna click here and new Command N, new file, air conditioning button. Okay, come in here, and like I said, I have the test file for it. I'm gonna explain this, so don't feel like you're freaking out at all. I'm just gonna fold this here, and let's copy this. And let's head on to, let me just make sure my notifications are on Do Not Disturb. Okay, so we're going to head on over to air conditioning, and we're going to close this, resume, build succeeded, and what we have here is our air conditioning button, right? So let me just explain. This is what I did. So we have an HStack. In this HStack, I added a VStack. Again, nothing new. It has air conditioning and connected, right? So, which is right here, air conditioning and connected, which we will style in a second. Let me just Let me just close this real quick. And then we then added so we had to figure out, right? I had to figure out how the heck, how do we make this, right? There's technically 3 circles. So we have the outside circle, okay, which is this outside circle. We have the middle circle, okay? The middle circle is doing all the magic, okay? The middle circle has the 3 different shadows, okay? So we have I made it 30 less width and height than the outside circle. And in this circle, it's a foreground color of like gray. Then I took this almost light blue shadow color. I added a radius of 10, and let me add this, a radius of 10, and then an X of 15 and Y of 15. So it's like down here. And then I did another one, except I did less of a radius, so it's more defined. So that's why you see this really nice circle, like dark circle here. And then I did white, same thing. So less radius, and I did -5, so it's up here, -5Y. And then I did the same white, but I gave it an opacity and less radius. So it kind of still stands out a little, but not too much. And as you can see, I have this really nice Neumorphism button. So then, last but not least, we had to get the stroke, right? So I added another circle with a stroke border, stroke style, line width, dash, and this is the width and height of it with this color. So again, this is the ZStacks, so whatever's at the top is in the back. So this top circle's in the back, then middle circle, then top circle, okay? Now, if I come down here, the ZStack also has a frame of 90 by 90. I just want to make sure everything is compressed in there. And then we have, if we close the ZStack, we have this HStacks information, right? Which is 300 by 160, background color, padding of top, but we're going to get rid of this and we're going to put it right there. And so we're just going to style the rest of this. So we're going to do, let's do corner radius 50, see what that looks like. 30, 20. And this looks a little, yeah, that's more like it. So let's jump in here and let's do a font dot size, weight design. I think this is, and this default. Air condition, and maybe it's just medium, to be honest. Yeah, that looks a little better. And then let's copy this, and I think this is more of like 15, and foreground color of dark gray. All right, and then this is gonna be a padding of top. Let's do 10. Might be 5 though. Oh, not 50. 5. All right, and then we just have to add a spacer. And let's just do a padding of dot leading of 20, and then padding dot trailing of 20. All right, so that's looking really good. And then, yeah, so I'm just going to come in here, air conditioning button, go back to my content view, air conditioning button, add the parentheses. There's our air conditioning button so far. Very easy so far. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create, add more devices to enhance your experience, right? So we're going to create this. Not hard at all. I'm actually going to go to my header, and I'm going to take this rounded rectangle. I'm going to create a new file. This is going to be add more. I'm just calling it more devices. How about that? More devices. Come in here, add this rounded rectangle, embed it into a VStack. Okay, click resume. There's a rounded rectangle, but we want it I'd probably say 300, 325. Height is going to be 150, 120, 110. And we're gonna make this a ZStack, and in the ZStack we're gonna add some text. Actually, what we're gonna do is we're going to what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this actually. Add a VStack and add a text, and that text says add more devices to enhance your experience. Okay, but you see it's coming out, it's going out of the frame. So what we can do here is let's do a width of 200, just see what this does. Perfect, it's exactly what I wanted. And then what we're gonna do is let's add a actually what I can do is actually make this an HStack, right? Yeah, perfect. So what I can do is, no, actually I'm gonna make this a VStack, and let's add some font and let's add some stuff to it. So this looks like a 22 bold dot default. What do we got here? Okay, so maybe we have to increase this a little, 280, and I think maybe this can come down to 19. Come down to here. Okay. Oh, sorry, I had to crack my neck. All right, so that's looking good. And what we're gonna do is add a padding of trailing. Let's do 30. Oh, trailing. And you know what? Color. Oh. Color. Let's go down to color lit. Open this up. We got to get it closer to gray. I'd probably say like that. Yeah, there we go. And I'm gonna come in here, show inspector. Let's definitely align this to the left. That doesn't move it, so we don't really need it. And we're just gonna make this 40 then. 50. Perfect. Okay, so then all we have to do is come back into content view, and we're just gonna do more devices. All right. So last but not least, we're gonna create this, which again is not hard. So we're gonna go in here. Let's just call it turn on scenario. Let's call it scenario. New file. Scenario. Did I spell that right? I suck at spelling. Scenario. Okay. Command M this. Last but not least, let's embed this into a HStack. Turn on scenario of preferences. Turn on the scenario of preferences. Oh, of presence. Wow, can't even read. Presence. Okay, and then we're gonna add a ZStack, right? Oh, yep, ZStack, and we're gonna add a rounded rectangle, and it's gonna be 30, and then it's gonna have an image of system name string. Let's go to beta arrow. What do we got here? Arrow right. Okay. Oh, here it is. Arrow dot right. Arrow dot right. Okay, let's resume this. Almost done, guys. Almost done. And round a rectangle. Perfect. So what we want to do real quick actually is come into this HStack, and HStack. So we're gonna create this guy right here. Come back and let's do frame max width dot infinity. And what we're gonna do is have a background color of color and color lit, and let's do this gray for now. even though I think it's more maybe like this guy. Okay, and let's actually calm this guy down a little. Holy 8. Let's do a height of 50 for now. Just calm down. Holy God. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is padding of dot horizontal, and let's do 20, and let's do corner radius of 30, and dot frame height of 120. All right, so that looks pretty good. So this guy, yeah, so this guy is 120, so which means this guy has to be like 100 by let's do width 100. Yeah, maybe even like 120 since it's, yeah, yep, perfect. And foreground color lit, and see if we can get this guy real quick. Get the picker, and let's get you. Let's get the same thing, picker. Okay, so this is gonna be a foreground of that white, and it's gonna be a font, system size, and let's make this 35. This is actually kind of dull. Let's make it more vibrant. Okay, and then what we can do is add a shadow. Color is black. Radius is 10. X is 10. Y is 10. And then what we're gonna do, actually X is 0. And we're actually gonna do color lit, and we're gonna copy you and place it here. And then we're going to do a dot opacity of 0.32. .25, and then what we got to do is we got to style this guy to font size, and let's do 19, bold, and default. So this look like. Okay, and to be honest, I wouldn't mind cutting this down to 100 and moving this guy to 80. 100, 90. Yeah, I think this is more, and then we can just lower this guy's size of 25. Yeah, this looks more like it. Okay. And then what we're going to do is add a spacer in here, and scenario of, and yeah, so we're going to do a padding dot leading of 20, padding dot leading, trailing of 20. Okay, and then okay, so we're going to come in here, scenario, go back to content view, and let's call this scenario. So now we have all the elements on the screen, and we can see if this works. What happens? Okay, so all we then need to do is add a padding of dot leading 20. Move this over, more devices. Same with you. And now we just have to replicate this. Okay, so that has a good amount of distance. So these three are close together, and then and then what we can do is do a padding of dot bottom of 50. And we can do a light switch padding dot top of 50. Okay. So I think we're done. All right, let's check this out. What do you guys think? I mean, we did pretty good. I thought, you know what? Let me go ahead and make this. Let's jump to definition. Let me make this guy a little lighter. I don't like his. I don't like that. So this has got to be like here. Oh, whoops, wrong guy. Okay. We're gonna move to this plus guy. Plus button. Sorry, here it is. Yep, I knew this was too dark. Color lit, and let's go to like here. No, a little more. Alright, I think I like this better. Come in here. Copy that. Get rid of this dot. Little darker. Now I think this is better. A lot of copy and paste, guys. Alright, so now let's go back to our content view. And yeah, I mean, this is pretty damn close, guys. I mean, if you ask me, I mean, I can go ahead and yeah, I think that, yeah, honestly, I think this is great. I honestly maybe some padding top, maybe 10, and then padding top 10. Yeah, so now we kind of have this at the bottom, and we have the space we need. And yeah, this is it. So if you guys want me to I can add some animation here in the next video if you guys want, where I click this and it goes to off, and maybe this turns, you know, a different color. We can have a modal animation when we click plus. Maybe some drag animations when we spin this around. But yeah, this is it, guys. I mean, look. I mean, this is pretty damn close. Added some Neumorphism stuff. Neumorphism, whatever it is. But yeah, if you guys like it, please subscribe to the channel. Please like, comment, do whatever you need to do. Like I said, I'm still learning, but excited to do this episode, and I'll definitely see you guys in the next one.